Hi guys, this is Ian back with another video, and today I'm going to talk about the Hifiman Sundaras. And yeah, so Hifiman sent this to me, and finally I've the chance to try the very popular Hifiman Sundaras, and also I have the chance to compare it with the Edition XS. All right, so if you guys are interested to watch this review, you can check out the link above. All right, so I am going to talk about the Sundara at the same time, compare it with the Edition XS. The Sundaras, I would say it's a very popular headphone. In fact, it has been popular for many years now. So first I'll go through my experience with this, and then I'll share with you my thoughts about it, how it sounds. At the same time, I will compare it with the Edition XS. Right, so the Sundara came in a box like this. I'm not gonna do a full unboxing of this Sundara. If you guys are interested to watch the full unboxing, you can check out the link above. Right, so this is the box, right? So pretty good box. And also came with some paperwork. This is the user guide as usual, and it comes in English. Okay, so pretty standard there, and also the warranty card, and that's about it. Now the accessories that it came with is this cable here. No, this cable here. Right, so this is the, let me just put this in the middle. So this is the cable that it came with, and to be honest, I'm not a fan of this cable. So it's stiff, very stiff, you know. It's like a whip type of stiffness, right? And also I mean, the rubber on the cable is fine, but it tends to want to spring back to its original shape when you put it in a certain way. But as you can see, there's some springiness to it. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this cable. In fact, I prefer the newer cables that came with the Edition XS. Nice and soft and pliable. Okay, very comfortable to use. I like this cable very much. So Hifiman, please take note. But I guess this is not a new model. Okay, so I guess the newer models that comes out, they should come with the newer cables. But yeah, I kind of like the angled headphone jack. Okay, and the standard jacks that goes to your headphones. So I think in terms of cables, yeah, I'm not a big fan, you know, pretty stiff. And then it comes with this 1/4-inch adapter, right, that you can plug into your amp, right? And that's about it. That's all. And it comes with this headphone. Right, so let's talk about the headphone. The ear cups, they are round, okay, as compared to the Edition SS, that is more of a teardrop, an egg-shaped type of ear cups. But this one is more of a roundish ear cup. The ear cups can swivel pretty much all the way 180 degrees, as you can see. Okay, very versatile. Okay, and the connectors are at the back bottom here. And the headband, right? So let's talk about the headband. The adjustments is pretty good, right? So you can adjust it like that. The notches at the inside here, so it stays in position. The headband is, I would say, comfortable, right? The belt here, or the rest belt here, I'm not too sure how you call it, but it rests on my head pretty comfortably. But if you're wearing a hat, then it's going to be a different story, because this is not exactly resting on your head, but it's resting on the cap. So if you have something on your head, you know, you might want to extend the headband a little bit more so that it fits your head. In terms of the build and the quality, it feels very solid, very stiff, okay, very hard, okay. The thing is comfort. Okay, so in terms of comfort, the ear cups, the ear pads are pretty standard. Okay, it's pretty nice and soft. It's similar to the ear pads on the Edition XS, nice and soft on the inside, nice velvety type of feel, and on the outside is leather. Now let's talk about the comfort. All right, so the clamping force is a little bit tight for me. I do feel a bit of pressure on my head when I put them on, so I can feel the clamping force really pressing onto my head. So in terms of fatigue, I do get a little bit of fatigue after some time. It does press onto my skull just a little bit. Okay, so clamping force is one thing. The headrest here, this leather belt thing, is very comfortable. All right, so in terms of this padded, I do like this. You know, don't get me wrong. I do like this type of leather foam type of headband. But this one feels lighter, feels less bulky on your head. So I just feel this piece of leather that's sitting on my head, and that's it. Instead, on this one, I do feel the entire headband sitting on my head. So in terms of comfort, yeah, it's comfortable. It's just that the clamping force is a little bit tight. It doesn't move around. In fact, it's quite sturdy on the head, so not much of movement. Okay, so I in terms of this build and the functionality of the headband is good. It's just that the clamping force is a bit tight. Okay, maybe this entire part here is a bit stiff. Okay, it's like one big piece here. So other than that, in terms of comfort, I have no complaints. Pretty comfortable headphone. I forgot to talk about the ear cups. Ear cups, they do cover my ear, even though it touches a little bit at the back of my ear, but not a big issue for me. But it does cover the entire ear itself. It doesn't cover the back of my jaw or down to the bottom of my jaw, but it's still comfortable. Okay, so yeah, so comfort wise, I'm okay except for the clamping force. Let's talk about the sound. So sound wise, I would say the sub bass is rumbly, is present. Extension of the rumble is very good, right? And it resonates really far. The tone of the rumble is warm. Note weight of it is heavy, as in heavier than the Edition XS. Okay, but in terms of real tone and timbre, this is a very nice and warm tone and timbre from the for the sub bass, and it's well controlled as well. It does not bleed or intrude into other frequencies like the mids or the treble. The mid bass, I would say, is thumpy, is impactful as well, and more impactful than the Edition XS. So I think in terms of the mid bass, I would feel that it's got that impact there, that warmth there, and it sounds pretty controlled. In fact, very controlled. Doesn't bleed, and it's got that. It's not as fast. It's not a very speedy type of mid bass, right? The rhythm is there, but it's a little bit laid back type of mid bass, and the impact. The punch is sufficient, I would say. Okay, let's talk about the mids. Right, so mids is reasonable forward, right? And instruments in this region, like the pianos, violins, trumpets, clarinets, they do sound resolute, right? They sound forward and clear, and just warm and natural. Okay, so it's got that natural feel to it, soothing to listen to, and not too overbearing. Yeah, I feel that the pianos, they do have that warmth when they are in the mix, and but not as clear as I would want, but it's there. Okay, so pretty okay for the mids. I would feel the vocals. Right, vocals. They do sound a little bit laid back, right? So vocals do sound a little bit laid back, uh, and but they sound warm, right? They sound warm. They've got the good tone and timbre, and the note weight is really good, all right? Especially for male vocals, they have that presence in the mix, and they sound authoritative, and they sound present, right? So in terms of the tone and the timbre for vocals is good, especially male vocals. Female vocals, they sound energetic, bright, and controlled, but not as energetic as I would hope for. But they sound forward, they sound clean, and they sound correct. Okay, so and soothing to listen to for female vocals. So that's for vocals, right? I think it's a pretty reasonable delivery of voices in terms of the tone, the timbre, and the soothing sound of vocals, right? So I do appreciate that, but it's not as bright and energetic as I would hope. All right, so treble. Let's move on to treble. So treble is, I would say, clear, right? Is extended, and controlled, right? So in terms of the simple strikes and snares, you can hear the sound is a little bit laid back. I would say a bit laid back, not the bright type of sound signature that I would expect. So the roll off is extended, but is controlled, right? So in terms of treble, doesn't excite me because I think the addition access excites me more for that. So yeah, that's for treble. Now for the soundstage, right? So soundstage again, the soundstage is wide, right? It's layered as well. It's got a good layering and is goes pretty far. It's more of a out of my head type of soundstage and is wide as well. It's got that height for that soundstage. So, but the imaging, right? So imaging is more of a blur. It's quite separated, but not as much as the Edition XS. So in terms of sound separation, I would say this is reasonable. Is not the best. The resolution and detail retrieval. So I think in terms of detail retrieval and resolution, as in technicalities of this headphone, I would say is reasonable. Okay, it's not picking up most of the nuances and micro details of that particular track, but it's reasonable. Okay, in the terms of resolution. So resolution wise, if you were to ask me, I would say that if you compare it with the Edition XS, it's not as resolute as the Edition XS. But in terms of overall tone, timbre, and the overall listening experience, then if I were to be in the mood to enjoy my music and just to chill out and listen to my music, then I would go for the Sundara. Okay, so the tone and the timbre that it delivers is really good, right? And that's the reason why I think this is a very popular headphone, because it delivers a very correct, soothing tone and timbre that is very nice to hear on your ears. okay, as compared to a more clinical and analytical headphone like the Edition XS. So I think in terms of the warmth, okay, it's not too warm, it's not too thin, and the tone is just nice, soothing to listen to. It's a very comfortable and easy to listen to headphone. And that's what I sum up to, that this headphone is a very popular headphone, and that's the reason why. Right, so for those who just want to enjoy your music and to really relax with a particular headphone, then the Sundaras is the one to go for. But if you really want to listen for the clarity and the details of your track, and you really want to analyze your song, then the Edition XS. Right, so let's compare these two. So in terms of overall listening experience, I would say the Sundara is more easier to listen to headphone. The Edition XS would be more of a critical listening and analytical listening type of headphone, that you really want to have that clarity, you really want to hear that nuance and that drop of a pin. Yeah, Edition XS. In terms of sub bass, I would say the Sundara has got more sub bass and less resolute sub bass. It's got the quantity, but it doesn't have the quality. The Edition XS does not have as forward of a bass, but the quality of the bass that it delivers is nice and clean, and you can hear that it's resolute, clean and clear. The mid bass again, it's got more mid bass on this Sundaras, and the warmth is more correct, I would say, to my ears. As for the Edition XS, it's not as impactful as the Sundaras, but then you can hear that kick drum or that impact is very clear, right? So in terms of clarity, the Edition XS. The mids. Okay, mids, I would give it to the Edition XS. It's more forward, even though it does not have that warmth and that tone and the timbre of the Sundaras, but I prefer the mids on the Edition XS, just because most of the instruments that I like to listen to are in the middle, and they sound really clear, and I like to listen to very clear sound. So I prefer the Edition XS as compared to the Sundaras. Treble, right? So treble, the Edition XS definitely has a cleaner, and it delivers a cleaner treble as compared to the Sundaras, right? It's cleaner. I'm not saying that it's brighter. In fact, it's just that little bit brighter than the Sundaras. But in terms of the whole delivery of the treble, I would prefer the Edition XS. Soundstage definitely soundstage definitely Edition XS, right? It is hands down, Edition XS has got a better soundstage. In terms of depth, in terms of layering, in terms of the height, in terms of the entire listening experience, in terms of the space itself, it's got a wider space, Edition XS. The detail retrieval and resolution, obviously, is the Edition XS again, right? So in terms of clarity and the resolution details, the nuances of the details, and imaging as well, Edition XS. Okay, but I mean, to be fair, I think these two, they have a different target market, and also they are built a bit differently. So it depends on your listening preference, right? So if you like to listen to clear and less warmth and less soothing type of music experience, then would be the Edition XS. But if you want more of a soothing and relaxing type of listening experience, and you just want to enjoy your music, then I would go for the Sundara. Okay, so this is a very quick review and opinion about this Sundara. And if you guys are interested to check out the specs of this, do take a look at the link in the description below. Right, so that concludes my impressions and review of the Sundara. And if you guys enjoyed this video, or if you learned something from this video, do consider to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so that you get notified of my future videos. Right, so I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.